contact with an infected animal or by contact via raw milk into humans. Brucellosis in people. Malta fever is what is kind of considered around the Mediterranean fever. Goat herdsmen on the island of Malta, which was fairly frequent for them. Not so frequent over here, but it was fairly frequent in those areas in the herdsmen. Ungulate fever symptoms include an ungulating fever, Bang's disease, established in the organism as a cause for abortion in the cattle. Sources of human infection, like we mentioned on the previous slide, unpasteurized milk in contact with contaminated milk, cheese, inhalation, handling infected animals, laboratory cultures. And so this is one of the reasons why they have it down here, but okay, so another one. Okay, we'll get to it. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry. So that's one of the reasons why you just have to make sure that you're taking precautions. And the surveillance of brucellosis, which it can be a rigorous process, and there's various ways of testing for this infectious disease. Ovulation test using serum or plasma, brucellosis card, Rose, Bengal test, serum,
Dr.
ovulation.
Doug,
Yes.
is it fatal?
To humans,
Yeah.
no.
Mm.
I don't think it is. Brucellosis milk test ring screens daily herds in U.S. at least 4 times annually on bulk milk tank. And so it's not something that you just, I mean, it's something to be aware of, but it's not something that, you have to be nervous about every time you contact the animal, or if it's a disease or outbreak within the herd that it's brucellosis and that you may or may not catch it. Uh, like I said, is the various states that you can herd or can be tested for. And so free means no infections in more than 12 months. And then you have the different classes that follow. But currently, here recently, and a long time since I've been studying, um, and I've worked with a variety of animals, domestic and wild. And so currently, in the 50 states and Puerto Rico and U.S. Virgin Islands are considered free, which there has not been any infections uh, more than 12 months, and it has extended even longer. So they've done quite a substantial amount of work to make sure this brucellosis is under control. Um, for the infected animals, slaughter infected animals. So there's no effective therapy besides slaughtering the animals because it can contaminate your whole herd. And so you want to kind of nip it in the bud, for lack of a better term, before it spreads throughout your whole herd. Vaccinations are used. The latter is preferred. There's 2 ways to vaccinate, and RB51 is the preferred, as those not to interfere with diagnostic tests. Current concern centers for presence of brucellosis in the wild cervix, which is your deer, your elk, especially free range and bison in the Yellowstone National Park. And so those herds of animals are free range as well as they come in contact with the obvious free range wild animals that are there. And so transmission there can occur within among species. So if you have any just concerns, you can ask me or read within the chapter. They go into a lot of detailed information. And so there was just synopsis of